Hi guys, Tigger here with a new video. In this video, we're going to talk about the latest controversy about WoW Classic, the WoW token. And I know it has nothing to do with PvP, although it has to do with World of Warcraft and how my thoughts are and my opinions are about the WoW token and the botting situation, the RMT situation. Because I feel like a lot of people are like missing the point of a lot of things. I'm not saying that Blizzard is actually doing like fantastic with their decision. I'm going to say that they could have done multiple things, but they're not doing it because they do value their money, I guess. But I'm going to talk about it. So we're going to glance over real quickly about the post, but really, I'm not going to read everything. I already read everything, and I'm going to summarize a bit. So at first, they didn't really think that they were going to add the token on Classic and on TBC because they wanted it to, again, matter that you get your first mount at level 40 or a bit further if you're like me, a bit struggling with golds in Classic. Or in TBC that you had your potions and flasks and that it had an expense that is quite substantial. So that they wanted it to feel still worth it, that the money that you're spending on TBC, at least gold wise, is not wasted, because again, inflation and such. So they wanted to not put it in the game, and they also wanted it to feel classic. That's pretty much what they are actually telling on the first things. That gold was actually like substantial enough in the ecosystem to actually maintain a character and such. But they say also they cannot really combat RMT because it is beyond buying gold. So black market, compromised accounts, credit card fraud, scams, hacked accounts, blah blah blah. And then just ban bots is actually the answer from the community, which frankly enough, it's not only that, but whatever. We ban tens of thousands of bots a week. It doesn't really matter since you do facilitate the bots creation on your websites, on everything you're actually doing. And I can understand what's the problem. You don't really want to ask every single customer, a new client like me, like you, to put a phone number. But that's the biggest thing that you actually can do. Ask a phone number to actually make a account, because there is a limited amount of phone numbers. You cannot really make a phone number out of thin air. You cannot make a bot with just a phone number. But you also see that it's not only a botting thing. There is also just gold selling from people like you and me, people that like you and me that can farm and actually sell those golds on a website. That's still possible, for example. Those are the workshops and such. So they're actually saying that pretty much they're like handling it every single week, but it's not an easy fight, and they kind of lose it right now. So they said like, look, we're going to put the token to actually like combat it and mitigate the impact, so that gold has less of an impact on long term, which is not always true, but I guess people do not know that on retail there are bots that actually farm gold, not only to sell it, but to use it as a token to actually like, again, use it as a subscription for World of Warcraft to actually go bot on Classic. So that's a problem since the token, like the inception of the token, I think 2015, 2014, I think, something like that, in World of Warcraft. That is also when the botting situation was out of hand, because they now had a solution to the expenses that they can actually make for a bot. So now a bot is actually kind of free, because you can actually like farm gold on retail, buy a subscription, and then bot on Classic. But that's like a simplified thing, like I'm actually explaining to you guys. But they have programs for that. Everything is like streamlined. And then you have people like you and me, again, you can also sell golds on a website. It's possible as well. But it's a lot like, I would not say it's expensive, because again, you're farming, so your time is more expensive than like, let's say a bot. But still, that exists still. So that's why it's not possible to actually fight pure gold sellers and pure RMT. So RAV design, the value of gold is a bit less because in RAV you don't really need that much, although debatable. But the problem is whenever you're going to say that, it also is becoming what it is in like retail WoW, where 200k gold is nothing, right? That's the problem. By adding things to facilitate gold usage, to gold buying, but also having so much gold in circulation, because again, if you're buying a token via Blizzard, you're actually adding gold into the circulation because of multiple things, like again bots, but whatever. That's the issue. And even though they are actually closing accounts, that's not enough, because they're self-sustaining. It's not like they're losing money because of that. They are actually are not spending any money. They're farming their gold to actually buy those subscription, and then they're going to spend the time in classic or in retail to farm gold to actually sell those services. The issue I see is not really the token. Again, I did see it coming, but I'm like someone that does PvP, so I don't really care about the token. What I do care is how the solutions are very simple. And I think nobody wants to hear that. But why does gold selling exist in the first place? Because I think people do not know how the economy works. If there is a market to sell garbage because people want garbage, well, people are going to make garbage to sell that garbage, because that's how capitalism works. That's how everything works in our society. If I say I want a supercar and everyone wants a supercar and everyone wants that, so it means the population has kind of the money to actually afford a supercar, then everyone will make a supercar to fill that void, because that's how economy works. Now, everyone wants to say that, oh, RMT, gold, GDKPs, gold sellers are bad, but they only fill the void that actually is a demand. The demand is people want to buy gold. Point on the line. They want to buy gold. And that's the issue firsthand. People are turning a blind eye to GDKPs, to other things, while forgetting that in the first place, people buy gold to spend it in GDKPs, or to spend it in consumes, or to spend it somewhere else. It's not like they're going to buy gold to put it in their bank account or whatever, but because again, they're using that gold. And why does RMT, or why does those websites exist? Why does gold selling actually exist? Because people actually buy gold. If no one bought golds, you wouldn't have that many bots. That's the thing. And nobody's now afraid of losing their account, because on the forums, on Reddit, on whatever system you can actually see and discuss with people, nobody's actually saying, oh, look, I'm getting banned, I do not know why. You don't see any messages of that, because nobody gets banned for buying gold on websites. And it is normally easily trackable for Blizzard to do that. But again, they're not doing it. Why? Because they value your subscription more than what you're actually doing with your money inside of the game. They're not going to say, "Oh, poor Billy, you're buying golds from X website. That you should not do that. We're going to ban you," and then sit on $15 a month. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do is fight fake bots, because again, they can ban every week even 1 million bots that wouldn't even matter, because they will duplicate and duplicate and duplicate. You know, it's like fighting rats at your home. If you're removing one rat, it doesn't mean that the 5 other rats inside of holes are gone. That's not true. You have to exterminate the whole system. And how do you do that? By putting an exterminator in your home and fighting those rats at the core source. What is the core source of actually gold selling? It is gold buying. But people are saying that it is the issue of Blizzard to fix, to ban those gold sellers and do nothing with the source. Whenever the source still exists, the offer will submerge somehow, some way. If the demand is, we want to buy gold, and that demand is not filled, it will be filled in the future. That's how economy works. That's how the market works. That's how you see that some inventions are made because there is a void to be filled. And everyone is hypocritical on that because, again, I'm a PvPer, so I'm super neutral on that. I do not care if you buy gold, I do not care if you sell gold, I do not care about anything, I just want to PvP. But if you are talking about purely economy, what Blizzard is doing and what you guys are doing, because I'm saying you guys, the people that are complaining about Blizzard, you guys are just missing the point. If you actually are against the gold selling RMT GDKPs, you will know that the right decision would be ban the people that buy golds. That's simple. Ban the people that buy golds. Because, trust me, they are going to get banned once, they're going to remake an account, they're going to rebuy a gold, they're going to get banned twice and thrice, and that's it. They're not going to buy golds anymore because they're going to value their money, because they're spending money on a video game that is essentially not going to reward you anything except losing money on subscription and gold buying. If you're like me and you're a YouTuber or a streamer and you kind of make money because you make videos or whatever, I mean, that I guess that's an investment, so you don't lose anything. But 99.99% of the player base isn't really a streamer or a YouTuber or content creator or whatever. So they're not going to spend hundreds of dollars in 1 month to actually recuperate an account, rebuy golds, got banned because of that, rebuy golds, subscribe and such. They're not going to do that. They're going to stop at one point. They're going to say, look, I'm getting banned because of buying golds. Obviously, they do know that I'm buying gold, so maybe I should just stop buying golds. Right? And that's how you stop RMT. That's also how you stop GDKP, by the way. But now, it's not going to stop the economy that is now created in RAF Classic or in Classic Era or whatever, or even on retail, because the gold is still in the system. It's too late now. But if you want to combat RMT truly, you have to ban the people that are actually buying golds, because those guys are actually fueling those bots. And the problem is, again, it will be super enticing because, again, you're going to ban the people that are buying, so the demand will still be high, but they will not be filling the offer, so the offer will be a lower price because they want to still sell those golds somehow, some way, because else it's just lost material. So the gold will be even lower price, so it will be like, for example, $2 for how much a case it would be for that, and they will still buy that. But Blizzard, since they know how to combat it, they're going to still ban those people that are actually buying, and then RMT will be just destroyed at one point. They're going to say, look, it's not worth to actually bought World of Warcraft, let's look for something else. The problem is with Blizzard, because again, I'm going to explain all of this. It's really simple. It's really simple. Blizzard do not want to ban gold buyers because they do not want to lose subscribers, because there is stock market, there is multiple layers of why they need numbers, and not really only just money, but also numbers. It's important for the investments. It's not only like the money that they get from the subscribers, it's also just purely numbers. If they can actually show the stockholders like that many accounts were made or that many accounts were actually active for that month, it's actually very good. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't really matter how much they spend on that account, or if they spent something. that number, the subscriber number, is the most important thing. Like, for example, any game, any live service game, or League of Legends, for example, or Guild Wars 2 or whatever, the numbers are everything. It's not like only the money, because the money that you get is good, it's cash flow. It's also you can reinvest, you can also, like, again, reward your employees and such. But it's also the pure numbers that can actually have stakeholders just stay where they are. They're going to say, look, there is growth, or look, there is break even, or look, we're losing numbers. And whenever we lose numbers, shareholders, what they do, they sell their shares, so the price will drop. And that's how it works. Again, demand, offer, business-wise, economy-wise, it makes sense. So they do not really want to like ban those gold buyers, because those gold buyers are actually the people that are actually playing the game. It's not like they're like passive. They actively want to buy gold to actually spend it in the game and to play in the game. So there is a vicious cycle where Blizzard gets blamed on not banning the RMT system and the bots and not doing anything about bots, and Blizzard actually doing something about the bots, but knowing very well that that's not the solution, and that the community doesn't really see the solution, but it feels like both the community and Blizzard are actually talking about two same things, but in a different way, just to ruin themselves. People that you, again, I'm like talking multiple points, but if you are participating in GDKPs and you are against RMT and you're against like gold selling, you're a hypocrite. And do not care at all of what your opinion might be. You can also, like, again, comment below. If it's respectful, I'll be responding. If it's not, then I guess I will just not see it. But let's be real. You know that those GDKPs, the pieces that get sold for X amount of like money, comes from somewhere, right? It's not like anyways, I wanted to, not every single guy, let's say that, I'm not going to insult, not every single mofo, I think that's a better word, right? Not every single mofo actually farms that gold. Let's be real. Let's be real. How many people actually farm gold? Like, actually farm gold? And you know, even the people that were farming gold with mage boosting knows that that money that they actually got from those boosts actually are from gold sellers and gold buyers. That's the main issue. People are turning a blind eye on things that they do not like, but on things that they like, and actually are like trying to gaslight into a thing that is really not the solution. And I wanted to just like share my piece, because again, it's a very popular conversation, and I feel like a lot of people are missing the point on a lot of things. Blizzard is making this text to just, again, tell, oh look, we banned many bots and it is not winnable. We're going to put a token, which automatically, of course, will put some money on their account, but also just in general will maybe sus a few people in the actual RMT scene and such. Again, what they're doing is just giving more incentives for bots to actually like not buy subscriptions. That's pretty much it. And also people are using GTKPs, and now they can use those GTKPs to actually like not buy a subscription, I guess, because they can also change their gold into a WoW token. Whatever. But this is not a solution at all. This is not even, it's a mitigation, I guess. It does mitigate. I guess gold buyers now can say, look, for €5 more or $5 more, I can just buy like some legit gold from Blizzard instead of RMT. But it's still the same. Inflation is inflation. You're still buying gold. And this is like, again, a blind guy describing how the world is to a dev guy, right? That's how I feel. And the dev guys are like, for example, the community. They do not want to hear that actually the issue lies with the player base actually buying gold. And the blind guy just knows what's going on, but just doesn't want to see it as a solution. And that's Blizzard. And I think that's the best description I can give. I think if people are actually watching the video until right now, I think that's the best description I can give. A blind guy describing how the world is to a deaf guy, and having no solution for World of Warcraft. Because again, somehow someone needs to lose. Either the gold buyers, actually, it's a lose-lose situation in any case, right? The gold buyers will get, like, again, if the world is how I see it and how it can be fixed, gold buyers are getting banned. That's a lose situation for the player. And the lose situation for Blizzard is they're losing subscriber numbers, which loses shareholders, which loses the value of a shareholder. But there is no win-win situation here. Their only win-win situation is that if the player base actually accepts that it exists and there is no other way to play around it, and that's it, just acceptance, and Blizzard actually accepting that they can lose money because of that, because they're putting a token that does mitigate a bit, but they lose subscription numbers, subscribing money, I would say, because you can basically subscribe for less by buying gold, for example, and selling that into a WoW token. That's the eventually. So if it's $15 to actually like subscribe, now it's going to be $5, for example, or $0 if you're like farming. So it's a lose-lose situation. And now the situation is, do you cut the ties and make it better from one point to another? Or do you keep the status quo and change nothing and just turn a blind eye to the obvious problems? And like I said, community is at fault, Blizzard is at fault. Blizzard is at fault because he is the blind guy actually explaining something that is not true. And the deaf guy actually at fault because they're not really deaf, but they do not want to hear what the truth is. The player base is at fault. And it's just economy. Again, demand and offer and demand. If there is no demand, there will be no offer, or at least the offer will not be filled, and the offer will be gone because they will feel like World of Warcraft is not lucrative. They'll go to RuneScape, they'll go to other to other places, but not on World of Warcraft. But since there is offer and there is a demand, then they're going to stay, and it's going to grow because the player base knows that at one point a friend says, oh look, I bought gold and it's not a problem, let's buy other, or you can also buy gold, and then it goes like this, right? It goes like this. And I'm not saying that I'm not the problem, I'm not saying that you are not the problem, I'm not saying that I am the problem, I'm not saying that you are the problem, I'm saying that the player base is a problem. And if you want to see it or not, that's your problem, because I cannot change that. But it is a problem because Blizzard cannot change player behavior. That's not possible, except if they ban the players that are actually doing that. Then the player base will actually realize that gold buying is not safe, and they're going to weigh in. Is it worth to buy 200k gold, or is it worth and getting banned, or is it worth to just farm and suck it up, or just play the game how it should be and keep my account? If it's not worth to lose their account because of gold buying, because it's actually bannable, then this will augment and the bots will also disappear. If it's like this, then the bots are going to go like this. Very simple. So anyways, hopefully you do realize it. It was a long discussion. Again, I'm someone that really rambles a lot. I know that there will always be a comment, oh, you could have made a short about... Look, it's my video. I can talk how long I want to talk. Thank you. My viewers do like it. My subscribers do like it. The people that are watching me do like it. If you do not like it, well, you can always watch a short from someone, and I guess you would have the same information. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully one day it will get fixed. But for that, you should have the blind guy and a deaf guy to go to the hospital and change their views, because that's not going to change. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want PvP content. Normally it's PvP content, but you can also have some discussion videos here and tier lists and guides and whatever, MMO wise at least. And if you are really tired about Classic, Ascension WoW is here. Tomorrow there is League 4. And yes, it is also not perfect because there is also a donate and a shop, whatever. But again, free. So you do whatever you want. If you want to have fun, come join me. If you do not want to have fun and still be typing to Blizzard that they hate them but still buy them stuff, whatever, do what you want. It is your money. It's also, I'm also still subscribed to World of Warcraft, by the way. I'm still playing it sometimes, although I'm not really liking the queues. I'm still playing it from time to time. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Be sure to stay safe. We'll catch you very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.